Hi, I'm Miriam Wilhelm from the University of Groningen.
And this is Veronica Villena from ASU.
And today we're going to talk about our recent paper, Cascading Sustainability in Multi-Tier Supply Chains. The idea of our paper is based on the observation that buying firms nowadays are subject to multiple stakeholder pressures. There's pressure from regulations and legislations, there's pressure from investors, from customers, and even employees. All these stakeholder pressures lead to an increased need for buying firm to manage the sustainability of their lower tier suppliers. Now, there are different ways of how buying firms can achieve that. And in our paper, we focus on what has been termed the indirect approach. And through the indirect approach, buying firms can disseminate their environmental and labor standards and requirements throughout their multi-tier supply chains.
This will work through the first-tier suppliers and the kind of sustainable procurement practices that these suppliers will adopt. And what we mean by sustainable procurement practices is whether the suppliers will conduct environmental and labor audits of their own suppliers, whether the suppliers will have environmental and labor criteria for supplier selection, whether the suppliers will monitor health and safety, environmental performance of their own suppliers. So we have two research questions. The first one is, which attributes enable the first-tier suppliers to adopt sustainable procurement? And the second question is about when the buying firm's power can contribute to or hinder this adoption of sustainable procurement. The research context that we used was working with a large European electronic firm and its Chinese suppliers. So we collected data from three different sources. We collected audit data from the environmental and labor audits that the suppliers went through. Then the second source, we design and administer a survey for all of these suppliers. And the third data source is we collected three different Chinese databases and the CDP supply chain program.
We hope that managers can learn several things from our research. First, we help managers to decide with which type of Chinese suppliers they should work with. And the answer is that they should work with those suppliers that have already adopted environmental, quality, and health and safety management standards, and those suppliers that engage with key stakeholders, such as the Responsible Business Alliance. The second insight we provide for managers is when the use of buying power will be effective. We show that when buyers account for less than 25% of a supplier business, buyers can further motivate mature suppliers. And with this, we mean those suppliers that have already certifications and that do already engage with stakeholders to adapt sustainable procurement practices. In those cases where buyers hold more than 25% of supplier business, buyers can prompt non-compliant suppliers to adopt sustainable procurement. However, it needs to be said that their power is limited for those suppliers with critical violations. If you would like to learn more about our research, please check out the November issue of POMS. Thank you.
Thank you.